let's run it. Charts up, we love it. Backpack, we done it. GM, good morning, we run it. Sunrise hits like a highlight reel. Coffee poured, yeah, this grind feel real. Wallet looking healthy like a post-gym meal. Crypto fam locked in, no off-day deals. Throwing shade, now we throw confetti. Market bounce back, hand strong, we steady. Dreams too big, so the doubts feel petty. Bull mode hitting, hope you're ready. We ain't stressing, we pressing, blessing the session. Turn every rejection to fuel for progression. Charts look clean, yeah, the vibe is a weapon. We build every day, this is compounding lessons. GM, we rise, we go. Good morning, crypto, steal the show. GM, get hype, let's grow. Another day up, yeah, we glow. Hands to the sky like let's get paid. Chase big goals, not just upgrades. GM bull energy all day. Smile up, we're built this way. No fear, just flips and vibes. Turning old dreams into real life strides. Hard days hit, we don't divide. Team eats together when the market rides. Tap in early, that sunrise hustle. Bear tried to break us, couldn't touch muscle. Stack small wins, that's compound muscle. Every new block, another flex, no struggle. Climb fast, no breaks, no doubt. Big cheers when the green breaks out. Crypto fam in the chat, full shout. We don't clock in, we break out. Oh, 3 a.m. we rise, we go. Good morning, crypto, steal the show. GM, get hype, let's grow. Every candle's just fuel, let's blow. We don't watch life, we make waves. Another sunrise, another brave day. GM fam, let's go be great. Good morning, crypto. Press play. Wake up, smile, send it.
Step 1, wake up early, gon' rise the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge and financial freedom. Today, I've got a few headlines. They're both kind of on the same topic. We've been seeing some things coming out of some treasury companies, so we're going to be talking about some treasury companies. Michael Saylor looking to start offering his stock in Europe, and we've got Sequans selling off some Bitcoin to pay off some debts. So we will get to those stories in just a second, but we're seeing quite a bit of moves in the market this morning. Not just on the TradFi side, but also on the crypto side of things. TradFi side looking just a little bit mixed this morning, more favoring the sell-offs right now, though. We do have Apple down 0.09%. We've got Nvidia down 1.13%. Berkshire Hathaway sitting down 0.07%. We've got Amazon down 0.53%. Eli Lilly sitting in the green 1.72% this morning. We've got ExxonMobil up 0.31%. Tesla sitting up 0.66%. We've got P&G sitting up 0.05%. We've got Microsoft down 0.2%. Google sitting down 0.17%. And we've got Meta sitting up 0.19%. For the crypto side, we are looking overly red this morning. We've got Hype up 0.69 and TRX up 1.9, but for the most part, we've got a massive sea of red bubbles here. Scrolling on down, we are seeing just a little bit of some green on the hourly here, but for the most part, we are struggling with some key levels that we will talk about in just a second. We've got Bitcoin down 2.6, Ethereum down 6.1%. We've got XRP down 1.9, BNB down 1.3. We've got Solana down 3%. We've got Tron sitting up 1.9%. Doge sitting down 1.4. We've got Cardano down 2.2. Hyperliquid taking a spot in the market cap from Chainlink, sitting up 6.9%, while Chainlink is sitting down 2.9% at $14. So a little bit of some downside. We'll talk about that Chainlink chart in a little bit because we did call out a level. We got some bouncing pretty much exactly on that level. We've got Bitcoin Cash down 2.7. We've got Stellar Lumens down 2.1. We've got Leo token in the red while everything else is as well. So not something you usually see. Those exchange tokens normally hold up just a little bit better there. We've got SWI down 0.7. HBAR down 2.8. We've got Avalanche down 1.1 and Litecoin dropping out of that top 20 with some strength, down 0.9%. For the fear and greeds, we're looking just a little bit fearful. We tapped into some extreme fear on the stock market side, hit 21, and the crypto side of things also sitting in some extreme fear, but we got a little move towards the upside on it off of yesterday's. We do have quite a bit of liquidity on either side of us. As you start to zoom this on out, we do have some liquidity directly above us, 102,500. We will kind of have to see if we can get to that today. I am kind of looking for a little bit of a bounce this morning, so we will see if we can grab up that liquidity. This 3-day has that same hot spot. Have to zoom it out just a little bit further. Take a look at this weekly to really start seeing that top side liquidity here. We've got some all the way up at almost 112,000. So definitely an area to kind of keep your eye on, but we got a bunch of resistance above us before we could end up grabbing up that liquidity. But let's get over to that Bitcoin chart, see what's going on this morning in the chat as well. I see JR sign on in here. Good morning to you. Let's scroll it on to the top. We've got Jay first in the chat this morning. We've got Donato Cabrera in here, and we've got Buck. Good morning. Hope y'all are having a great morning so far. We got Steve Hickey in the house. We've got Tex-Mex Biomex in here as well. Good morning to you. We've got Crypto Billy in the chat. Good morning. Scrolling on down, let's see who else we got. We got Robert Mulligan in the house. Good morning. We got All Set. Good morning. He said good morning to the crypto fam. So hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see who else. We got Melissa in the house bright and early. You were in LBC stream last night, so you must have got just as much sleep as I did, which was not very much. We got Jay Violet in here. Good morning. We've got K Diggity as well. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day so far. We got Sullied Corn Mafia in here. Good morning. I love the name every single time I see it. We've got Darren Does Things. Good morning. Hope you're having a great day so far. And we've got a few people over on X. Oh, my buddy Cam just chimed on in. He said, good morning, good sir. Hope you're having a great day so far, Cam. We are seeing just a little bit of some bouncing here on this Bitcoin chart, but we do see quite a bit of resistance directly towards the upside. As we zoom this on in here on the daily, you can see where we were looking for price to come down to, and that was that fair value gap we talked about on Monday. We got that drop through 106,100. That was an area we were potentially looking to hold. and then we dropped directly towards our fair value gap and got that bouncing on our 236 here. That was an area we were potentially looking to see if price reacted at, if we didn't get that reaction at 101,000, and we couldn't maintain the top side of our fair value gap. So we had a few bouncing levels directly towards the downside as we started to see that money flow really seeing that strong sell-off. So definitely looking to see if we can at least maintain some of this range here, because we still do have a little bit of some areas to the downside here. So as we get this pump this morning, we will see if we can get above our top side of the fair value gap, coming in at 102,300, almost 400 for the top side of that. Just falls a little bit short there. So that's that area for us to watch for resistance as we get this true 7 starting to clip out here on the daily. We've got this money flow to really contend with and some low volume. So we do need to start seeing that volume pick back up to really get over a lot of the selling pressure. The low volume has kind of led me to believe that there could be another little pump here, especially since they're like, you know what? Let's not battle the bears right now. Let's just let them sell off their Bitcoin so that we can buy it a little bit cheaper and try to send price a little bit higher. So you have been seeing an extreme lack of volume here on the higher term time frame, and there hasn't been much of a battle as we've dropped from 110,000 all the way down to that $100,000 range. We are potentially looking to see if we can get above that and then see some volume come back in. We do see that 1 hour looking just a little bit bottomy here, but we've got this strong money flow to contend with here. That's why I say I would like to see us get above the top side of our fair value gap first before I have any like semblance of a long here. So we do have a lot of resistance in that time frame from Asia, and London has been consolidating quite nicely for now. We are seeing just a little bit of some upside action, but we haven't been able to take out the Asia highs just yet. So keep your eye on that. We would have to get outside of the fair value gap to really take those Asia highs, grab up any of that liquidity that is directly above us. We do have quite a bit of selling pressure that we will have to contend with first as we start seeing this sideways momentum coming in on the oscillators. I would like to see that volume start to pick back up like it did in this London session, but maintain that volume so we can get that continued pushback up towards the upside there. So plenty of resistance at that first level, and then we'll have to see if we can contend with some of the lows from back here at about 103,600. So that'd be that next real area of interest for me. That's where we got a lot of bouncing at in that London session before we saw New York just a dump on them. So we do have a few areas towards the upside to keep your eye on as well if we can get above the top side of this fair value gap. So that's that first thing to contend with here as we are starting to see our money flow in the green on the shorter term time frame. We want to see that come with some volume so we can get some continuation, have that bleed over into the higher time frame, and really give us those pushes back towards the upside there. So we do have strong support directly below us as well. London lows coming in at that $101,000 mark. That is where we saw a lot of action on from way back in the history. And we will kind of have to see if that comes in as our strong support again, if we get that rejection off of the fair value gap top, and then try to regather just a little more strength. London has been consolidating quite nicely, holding this range right now. It does give your shorter term time frame oscillators a little cool off, so you could potentially see some money flow start to come in on that New York open, really give us that push above our fair value gap and continue up to those London lows we just talked about there. So let's hop on over to our news articles for the day, because we did have a few things to go over with those Bitcoin treasury companies. we're not only seeing some whales sell off some Bitcoin, we're seeing some Bitcoin treasury companies that were buying tops start to sell off. This is just the first one right now. And I do think it's an accurate description to call these Bitcoin treasuries a bubble. We were talking about, what are you going to do when you bought the top on Bitcoin, borrowed money to do it, and then you start to see what you borrowed go down in value? And especially when you're going to have to pay that debt off. So Sequans sold 970 Bitcoin to redeem half of its convertible debt, reducing total liabilities from 189 million to 94.5 million. And this is a company that was buying the tops on Bitcoin, not normally the thing that you want to do in a bull market. You don't want to buy tops to try to leverage that debt to buy more Bitcoin at the top, because what you're going to end up seeing is that this selling pressure is going to be a cascading effect on them. So let's get into the article just a little bit here. In what may be the start to putting in a bottom in the crypto sell-off, or the harbinger of more brutality to come, or both. Paris-based Sequans became the first of this year's hastily formed Bitcoin treasury companies to unload some of its Bitcoin stack. Alongside its third quarter earnings, Sequans Tuesday said it redeemed 50% of its July 25 convertible debt by selling 970 Bitcoin, cutting total debt from 189 million to 94.5 million. Its Bitcoin reserves now stand at 2,264 Bitcoin, worth roughly $240 million, lowering its debt to net asset value ratio from 55 to 39%. CEO Georges Carmen described the decision as a tactical and market-driven, emphasizing that the company's long-term Bitcoin strategy remains intact, with less leverage and fewer debt covenants. Sequans plans to expand its capital market options, including its ADR buyback program, potential preferred share issuance, and yield-generating strategies using Bitcoin. So we'll kind of have to see if this is just the first sign in the wave of Bitcoin treasury companies. I do think it is, because I talked about a lot of these companies that were copying the Sailor strategy to buy Bitcoin, to leverage the Bitcoin, to buy more Bitcoin, because in the bull market, it's very easy. You buy the Bitcoin, the asset goes up in price, and then you could borrow against it. That's basically what they did, but they put it on their company's balance sheet. And when you have to pay off your debts, like we're seeing now, they did a short-term borrow, and those came to call a whole lot quicker than we're going to see with strategy. You're going to have to sell something, especially if you don't have millions of dollars just laying on the side to pay people off. So first companies sell off Bitcoin as Michael Saylor decides he's going to step into some new markets here. Strategy launching the euro-dominated preferred stock. Strategy continues to launch preferred stock to fund Bitcoin purchases. This time, a euro-denominated offering has been announced. Strategy market cap premium over its Bitcoin holdings has diminished, with shares underperforming both Bitcoin and the S&P 500 recently. Valuation concerns persist as MSTR balances crypto exposure, shareholder dilution, and rising preferred dividend commitments. As 2025 has progressed, I've extensively covered the ongoing preferred stock launches from Strategy as the company looks to raise new capital to fund its Bitcoin purchases. After massively diluting common shareholders in recent years to buy tens of billions worth of the cryptocurrency, the company is now projected to pay several $100 million a year in dividend payments to these preferred holders. Just a few days after reporting its Q3 financial results, Strategy announced another new preferred class, but this one is a bit different. Previous coverage of the name, my most recent article came a few weeks ago when I detailed how the Bitcoin premium for Strategy was quickly evaporating. For a time, the company's market cap was substantially above the value of its crypto holdings, even if you gave its small software business a fair market multiplier. Things have changed quite a bit in the last few months. However, as shares of the common stock has significantly underperformed Bitcoin over that time, since my latest article, Strategy has lost 13.7% through Tuesday's close compared to a 3.5% rally for the S&P 500. Let's get into this latest preferred stock offering, because that's the meat and potatoes that'll really show you what's going on here. Prior to 2025, the company was only using equity offerings and debt to fund its Bitcoin purchases. Earlier this year, the company launched its first preferred share class and has since launched 3 more. The one that came during Q3 was the Strategy 9% Series A Perpetual Stretch STK. This is a variable rate preferred, which has started with 10% annual dividend that was now since increased twice, now fetching a 10.5% annual rate. In the earnings released linked in my opening, management explains how that preferred dividend will evolve based on the STRC stock price. Strategy Inc. has an 8% yield. We've got Strategy Inc. The STK. So this one's RSTK with an 8%. We've got RSTF with a 10%. And then the last one that we just talked about, which was a preferred stock, STRD with a 10% yield as well. And this is what he's looking to do in Europe as well. The big news this week, however, was the latest preferred share offering. Strategy is launching a euro-denominated preferred share class, Strategy's 10% Series A Perpetual Stream Preferred Stock, STRE stock. The initial offering is based on 3.5 million shares, par values €100, with this dividend being paid quarterly. If declared dividends are not paid on their specific date, the dividend rate goes up a full percent, up to a maximum of 18% per year. This is some key language to keep your eye on here. So this part right here, if the declared dividends are not paid on their specific date, meaning that they're thinking they might not be able to pay dividends on time, so instead we'll give you a little boost on that APR that we were going to give you so that we could potentially move money around to keep from selling Bitcoin, because if they sell any Bitcoin, that's basically the end of Michael Saylor and the whole MicroStrategy. No one will buy it again, because his whole spiel is we're buying Bitcoin to not sell Bitcoin. So he's either going to have to dilute shareholders even harder, or he's going to have to miss out on dividend payments and then pay a little more a little bit later. Looks like DDT is posting some things in the TradFi chat, so I'll have to take a look at that in a little bit. We got French Toaster in here this morning. Are we bullish this morning? Just a little bit. We talked about some upside action we could potentially see on Bitcoin. If we got any other assets for me to take a look at this morning, go ahead, drop those in the chat for me, and we will get to those in just a second. We got Alexander G in the house. Good morning, good morning. We've got let's see, Sean Behringer in the house. Good morning, good morning. I knew I saw your name up there somewhere. I had to scroll up just a little bit. I was in the weeds of the article. This stuff kind of frustrates me just a little bit because I was telling people that this is a house of cards built on Bitcoin, and you're seeing a lot of shuffling going on in the background to be able to stay afloat. And you're already seeing other companies start to sell off their Bitcoin, like we saw in that last article. So we'll have to see what Saylor does, especially as you have not only dividend payments in multiple areas that you're going to have to start paying out, but you've also got convertible bonds that are maturing in 2027 in the bottom of the bear market. So if you're way below, and the money that you're raising from these preferred stocks that you're also going to have to pay out on aren't bringing you as much as you need to kind of pay off the debt that you have maturing in 2027. And like he said, the software company that Michael Saylor owns doesn't make a whole lot of money. How are you going to pay off that debt? The Bitcoin's on the balance sheet. Do you think he's going to sell off his software based products or his computers or his other assets, or is he going to be forced to liquidate his Bitcoin? I'm kind of leaning towards the Bitcoin is probably going to be the thing that he sells off, because at the end of the day, if he fails on that, you've still got a software company that's making you money. So keep your eye on those companies that are mimicking Saylor and see what happens here, because Saylor's been buying the tops the same way they have. He's just got a lot further reach than the rest of these companies do. But let's get over to some of these charts this morning, because we were seeing some interesting price action. I wanted to take a look at the Link chart. We've been hounding on Link over and over again. As it continues to see some harsh sell-off, we got a little bit of bouncing action at $14.08. That was an area we were looking to come down to. We got a little wick below that as well, all the way into $13.72. So definitely some harsh sell-off on Link. We're failing to get above the golden pocket with that move up towards the upside here, and we're really waiting to see if we can get some money flow coming on in. The 4 hour starting to run a little sideways as you're getting that curve back towards the upside. You've got your hourly here also running extremely sideways as you're failing to see any strong money flow coming on in here. So alts are not looking amazing. You do have some decent volume here on the hourly. You're starting to get a little bit of curvature back up on the prime oscillator, but you've got that MACD starting to look just a little bit toppy here as you failed to get above the golden pocket. So we do have some areas to kind of keep your eye on. That is going to be that support directly below us, coming in at $14.54. We'll get that as a short-term time frame horizontal ray here to kind of see if we can hold that. If we can hold that, we could potentially cool off those oscillators just a little bit, give yourself that ability to pump above our golden pocket. If not, that is the break of structure here. You've got those lower highs those higher lows being negated, and you'd be looking for a little more downside there. Like we talked about, $14.08 was that first area towards the downside to keep your eye on. We've got some areas below that. $12.80 is going to be that next real strong area towards the downside I would look for if we can't hold this $14 range. So definitely looking just a little bit worrisome on Coinbase or on Link as we're seeing that sell off on Bitcoin. We did want to talk about gold as well. Gold trying to maintain that platinum pocket here. We did get that bounce off of it the other day. Let me get my demonstration tool pulled up. We did get that bounce off of it the other day, and we're now ranging just a little bit sideways on top of this platinum pocket. We are trying to make these higher lows here, but we are seeing just a little bit of a rounded top. So zooming on out just a little bit so you can see that daily, we could potentially break lower. And that's why I have an area drawn out towards the downside here that we could potentially look for if we don't hold 3,901. So that is that platinum pocket there on our fib extension levels. We've been seeing a little bit of sideways momentum, some low volume, and your money flow kind of rolling on over just a bit here. We are potentially looking at some bottoming here on the daily, but we've got a lot of pressure to get above. So that first area of interest for me is going to be directly above us at about $4,026. That's where we got those very equal candle wicks and candle bodies there. There we go, coming in at $4,029 there. We'll make that a little bit thicker so we know it's a higher term time frame area to get above first before we would be able to get back up to 4,155. We're trying to make a higher low here right now on the higher term time frame, but you could very easily lose that with just a little bit of sell pressure here. The shorter term time frame is my big concern, as we are in a bit of a downtrend, and you're starting to see that money flow get that secondary rollover. Prime oscillator starting to look real toppy here as you're making that lower high and it's getting extremely overheated. You're getting that rollover on the MACD as well as when you failed to get above that zero line here. So gold could potentially lose this platinum pocket and drop all the way down to that $3,800 area. That's that first area to really keep your eye on. I know Piper's talked about it as well. So $3,800, not a bad area to potentially look at buying some gold if we can turn that into some support. We do have that golden pocket directly below it as well, about $3,730 coming in for that golden pocket. So a little bit of an area towards the downside if we can't maintain this golden pocket here. Let's see, did we have any alt requests to take a look at? I didn't see anything thrown in the chat just yet. We've got Redmond in the house this morning. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see what else we got going on. Haven't seen any alt requests just yet. Looks like no alt requests. So let's see, we've got Meetin' One Florin saying lab, and we've got soul requested. All right, there's a few things we can work with. Lab, we will take a look at that first. I guess on Maxi we can take a look at it, or KuCoin. Let's see what has the most history. There's lab on that. Looks like a newer one. Lab. Let's see on KuCoin if it's got longer history. Oh, yeah, definitely a little bit longer history there. So we'll go off of that one. See what we're looking at for our current range here on a fib level. Probably seeing that 236 being a little bit of some resistance, or platinum pocket being a little bit of resistance. Definitely looking like that. Let's see from our current range though what we're looking at there. Looking like that 236 is going to be that area we're doing battle with. So we tried to hold that 236 on that hourly time frame, seeing if we can get that money flow coming back in. We've got a lot of sell off to contend with. Volume starting to pick back up though. So if you can get above, let's see, 16 cents, you could potentially see that bouncing action there. That is where that 236 comes into play. Also that platinum pocket on the fib retracement that we pulled from lows to high there. So definitely an area to keep your eye on. If we can get above it, we've got some strong resistance way up here with our equal candle bodies. Let me get that horizontal ray drawn out. That's where we see equal candle bodies, equal wicks as well. It's where we rejected off of. It's 16,839. We're seeing just a little bit of struggle this morning, so potentially looking for a support area directly below us, coming in at about 15.2. to see if we could see some bouncing action off of that to get us just a little bit of a move up to that 236 there. So this is that little horizontal area we'd potentially look at price trading in. If you do drop below that, it does look just a little bit worrisome, as you do have those lower highs coming on in, and you're starting to make some lower lows on this hourly. So doesn't have a whole bunch of price history to really go off of there. I would like to see that bouncing on at 15.1 to get that push back up to 16 cents there. We're seeing just a little bit of some iffy signs on the hourly, but if you can get that slow up of money flow here, your prime oscillator and MACD are looking at a key area where you could start to see that volume, that with that increase of volume, get that move back towards the upside there, because we're running just a little bit sideways. Let's see what's going on with the 15 minute running a little bit sideways too. We do have this money flow to contend with here on the shorter term time frame as well. As you can see, we've got some heavy sell off there. This was some heavier sell off here, and you saw what happened through all of that sell-off. We lost the 382, lost the 236, and found our strong bottom all the way down at 13 cents there. So potential to continue that trend if you can't do some battle on the money flow and see us get back up to about that 16 cent level. That'd be that first area I would like to see turn back into some support. It also is that area from back here as well. Saw price holding up there as well. Very strong sell off on this. I'm not sure what the project is, but keep your eye on that 16 cent level if you can hold 15. If not, looking all the way back down to that 13 cent range might be what you would keep your eye on there. So we had Sol requested and Aster as well. Let's see, Solana getting that push down to the 50% line on our fib levels. We did get that drop below it as well. Through all of the areas we were looking for support, didn't have any support areas kind of drawn in this area, so we'll kind of have to see what happens here. We did talk about some areas from way back here. Let's get this pulled up on a higher term time frame. We talked about several of those levels, and we're now looking at a little bit of some bottoming action here on the daily. We are trying to get back above our 50% line. After losing all of our support, we're kind of seeing just a little bit of some worry on the money flow as it continues on its sell off, but you do have a few hopium signals. Your true 7 has clipped out, you're starting to see some oversold signals, and you're running just a little bit sideways on the prime oscillator and MACD. So if we can get above that 50% line, you might see some upside action there. Let's get that pulled up to the hourly chart. You can kind of see how those support levels that we were looking for got lost extremely hard. Got that strong rejection off of 176.89. Got that hard drop, tried to hold 168 and then continued down to the 50% line, tried to hold the 50% line and then continued below it. So we do have some resistance above us at this 50% line. You can see we've already rejected off of it. We're trying to get that push above it right now this morning. So that is our first area to contend with, and we will see if we can make our way back up to 161. That'd be that first real area I'd keep my eye on. We got those nice equal candle bodies coming off of it from here, here, and here as well. We rejected off of 161 to drop below that 50% line there. So that is that first area. If we can get above the 50, I'd look for a little bit of resistance at. If you can get above that, you've got your resistance way back up there at about 165 to contend with as well. That's where we got those candle body with the equal wicks. So if you can get above that as well, that's at 168 I'd keep my eye on. I will have to do a lot more charting from the history to see what happens if we reject off of that 50% line, really drop below it, see some weakness. But definitely have some strong support directly below us right now at 154. So let's get that short-term horizontal drawn out there off of those equal candle bodies. That is that area we'd potentially look at holding if we get a rejection off of 161 and don't hold the 50% there. So prime oscillator is looking like you're seeing a little bit of a slow up on that selling pressure, and we'll have to see what the morning brings our way here. We talked about some upside action, but that prime oscillator is starting to look overheated here as well as you start to get that move towards the upside. Your MACD is looking a little bit nicer as you're above your zero line now, getting that curvature on your indicator line, and that MACD line getting the curvature up, and you're just really waiting on some volume here because your money flows in the green and your volume's a little bit low. So definitely looking to turn that 50% into some support to start seeing that volume come back in. If not, potentially looking for a continued sell-off might be what you look for. We do have below us at 147 being another area to kind of keep your eye on there. That's where we got all those equal lows from back there. Seeing us wick below that might be something to watch for, because I would expect some liquidity below those lows. So definitely looking just a little bit iffy unless you can start to see some money and some volume coming in with some strength on a lot of these assets. It's looking pretty much the same across the market. Stocks, on the other hand, have been looking a little bit all right. You saw a little bit of some heavy sell-off in certain areas, but definitely have some potential to get some upside action if you can start seeing that money flow come in on crypto. Definitely would like to see Bitcoin getting above the Asia highs that we had talked about. No Nippy, boo. Is Nippy even on TradingView? I looked it up the other day and never found it. So it is not in the crypto. Nippy, no Nippy not found in crypto. So there are also 14 symbols in other markets, but these are just stocks in other countries. So you'll have to tell me where I can find Nippy, sir. We did see ZBEC requested though. We've been hounding on that one. Let's see what ZBEC's looking like, because we talked about some areas that we'd like to get up to. Boom, look at that. Nice strong resistance off of that area we were looking for. That is 00341, potentially looking for us to get above that area. We would need to hold that 1618 this morning. Let's see what's going on that higher term time frame, because that shorter term time frame is looking just a little bit toppy. Higher term time frame is looking very bottomy here, so looking quite nice for a continued move towards the upside here, and we'll have to see if we can get above 00341 first and then get a little bit of continuation. Sorry about that. We've got the hourly looking a little bit nice as well, but it is seeing just a little bit of topping there. So we are getting that MACD, getting that move above our zero line here. We're seeing our volume start to increase again, and that prime oscillator is getting a little bit toppy here, so kind of keep your eye on that. Lab over 16 cents, says Meetin Florin. Already getting that move towards the upside. So we are looking just a little bit toppy here on the hourly, so we'll have to see if we can hold that 1618. If we can't hold the 1618, looking back down to our support down here at about 00324 would be that move to kind of watch for there. That is where we got all those equal candle bodies and wicking action off of as well. So potentially looking for that to come into play as you see some harsh sell-off after that rejection off of 00341. That was that area we were potentially looking for some rejection as well. So losing the 1618 right now and definitely could see some more sell-off continue as that 1 hour starting to look a little bit toppy. 15 minutes looking a little bit toppy as well. Volumes extremely low though, so if you can see that switch up of volume at that lower price point, that would be that move to watch for. As you're below the 1618, again, you do have a few areas below us. This is a giant fair value gap. Let's get it drawn on out here, see where you might see some bouncing action to remain bullish. Let's get this one drawn on out. Comes in a little bit above that area we were looking for support at. Let's get that colored in purple so we know it's a fair value gap and not a CME gap. We'll lock it and see where that midline comes into play. I would like to see us hold that midline as we get that out, move towards the downside. That would be 0.03264. We are seeing some harsh sell-off now after that rejection off of 0.341. If we lose that, looking all the way back down to about 0.032 or 0.031, where we have our strong support, would be that move to watch for. We'll kind of have to see how this morning goes. Alts not looking amazing, but Bitcoin getting that nice move above our fair value gap like we had talked about, and then looking to see if we can get that bouncing action off of. If we don't hold that, looking all the way back down is what we were looking for here, and that's what we'd look for on the alts as well, with a little more harshness. So definitely have those areas directly towards the downside to kind of keep your eye on as we see this harsh sell-off as we got up to resistance. So it is 6:27 though, and time to wind that show on down. Sorry about Nippy Buck. Your cat ladies aren't buying crypto, so I can't look at the chart on TradingView either. I don't know where it is. We got Silver Days XRP in the house. I appreciate. Oop, wrong button there. I appreciate you tuning on in today. Silver Days XRP. And everyone else in the chat. We got Meat and Florin, Alexandra G, we got Redmond here, we got Jesse Galuck, must have missed you earlier, didn't see ya. We got JR, we got Buck, we got French Toaster, we got Wick showing up bright and early. Thank you for tuning on in today. Let's see who else. We've got Pro Bitcoin in the house. Good morning, good morning. Let's see who else. K Diggity, Steve Hickey, Sean Behringer. We've got 10 viewers over on X. I appreciate every single one of you tuning on in today. We've got 2 other shows here on the Piper Academy that we do daily, and that is going to be our morning market report with Piper and OC. We've also got Trading with OC at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Jesse having fun with those cat memes. We've got Trading with OC at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That is the place to be if you like to make a little bit of money, you like to have a little bit of fun, and you like to put on some tinfoil hats. The morning market report is the place to be if you like the macro breakdown of all the data to keep your eye on. There's a lot going on in our current economy, and we are looking at all of that every single morning at 10 a.m. So keep your eye on the rest of the shows here on the Piper Academy, and I'll see you in the chats in the meantime. Make sure to wake up, because today's going to be a good day.
Yeah, wake the hell up. Charts ain't waiting and neither am I. It's BC Pork Corp, and this is Good Morning Crypto. Let's run it. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping on time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I truth, now the picture get clearer. Yeah, I'm up before sunrise, no snooze on my plays. Whales still dreaming, I'm setting my trays. I ain't here for likes, I ain't here for clout. I'm here for that check when the trend breaks out. I spit blocks, hash rates, having dates. Got alpha in my veins, no time for fakes. SEC lurking, but I move like a ghost. Mixing TA and game, call me the host. This my show, this my tone, this my throne. Good morning, crypto, I stand alone. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping on time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much. Cold wallet thick like it just did crunch. Fiat crashing, I just laugh in the mirror. Good morning truth, now the picture get clearer. Perpetual swinging, I'm a beast with the size. TA tight like the laces I tie. MACD crossing, I'm pressing that go. And my fib line stretching like it's crypto dope. Ain't no banker ever taught me this wealth. I learned from red days, had to fight for myself. Now I'm dropping fire before the coffee drip. Crypto cooking on its breakfast shift. Every candle's a warning, every flash a test. But I lace up my plays and I trade like the best. We're moons made for legends, not snoozers and sheep. This for the wolves who watch charts while they eat. This for the ones who said crypto's a scam. Now I'm paying my bills with a cold wallet jam. Salute to the grinder, salute to the bold. Good morning to those who ain't buying what they sold. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping on time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much.